Welcome to Locker Talk episode 6. What a WrestleMania. I am your host, Koltyn, as always by my side. No one. Matt couldn't be here tonight. He wishes he could. He's been tweeting along with us a little bit, but he had a prior engagement, so it's just me tonight talking to you about everything WrestleMania. Wow, I am still out of breath from that main event. Perfectly executed on all parts. I'm very excited to see where this goes for Brock Lesnar, for Roman Reigns, and for Seth Rollins. Very excited for Raw tomorrow night. But let's jump right in to our WrestleMania results. I'm just going to go through and talk through all the matches, give my thoughts on everything, maybe try to tweet out a link to the live show while we're doing this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to coordinate that well. Either way, WrestleMania was great tonight. I'm really, really excited about all that. But let's get started here. The first match of the night was the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Tag Team Championship, with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd facing the New Day and the Usos and Los Matadores. WrestleMania started out hot. I was really excited for this match. I thought these guys would hopefully get a little time to shine, and they did. And I was very happy. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd got the win. A lot of great high spots in this match. The big, how many guys was it? Five guys, I believe it was, with that superplex off the top rope. A lot of great spots. Just a great way to start off WrestleMania. Next match would be the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. A lot of things going on here, obviously, with a lot of guys. Sadly, our pick of Zack Ryder did not win the match. I'm a little disappointed in that, but you know, it is what it is. No one's very happy with the fact that the Big Show won the match, but I feel like Damien Mizdow was able to shine in this match, breaking away from the Miz, and I'm really, really excited to see where he goes with that. I assume Sheamus was going to be in this match, but he was not. He wasn't on WrestleMania at all, for that matter. And I assume we're going to see him tomorrow night in some capacity, or one way or another. At this point, I would assume maybe to fight Daniel Bryan. I don't really know what they're going to do. It seems that they're going to make him be a heel. But a lot of great things coming out of this match. Hideo Itami from NXT, I thought looked really great. I thought he could have done a little bit more with the Big Show in that match, but it didn't happen. But I expect great things from Hideo Itami in the future. The guy's a great talent, and I'm really excited to see where he goes in the future. Our opening match is what we said would steal the show, the Intercontinental title match. Which I thought at the beginning it was going to steal the show. It was a great match, but I felt most of the matches in this show were really executed really, really well. A lot of big spots in this match. I'm not sure if that injury to Dean Ambrose is legit or not, but it looked really, really legit. And man, they set up Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler incredibly. I'm really excited. I hope they do that. I know we're all hoping for that. Daniel Bryan is your new Intercontinental Champion, and potentially bringing legitimacy to the Intercontinental title. And I don't know of anyone who could be much better to do that job other than Daniel Bryan, as you saw afterwards with all the legends putting Bryan over, which I mentioned on Twitter why you would do that when Bryan is already so over with the fans. But it was a nice little homage to Bryan and all the hard work he's put in this industry of wrestling. I'm really excited for him. I'm going to take a quick break here and figure out. Okay, try to figure out how to put a link up so you can find me on Twitter and maybe come watch this show. Otherwise, I'm just taping this for later purposes. Either way, just hold on, give me a second. I'll try to talk and type at the same time. How great was The Walking Dead tonight, man! Really exciting final episode. I wish I would have paid a bit more attention. I was really, really into WrestleMania. I didn't expect I would be that into the show. I figured I would pay more attention to The Walking Dead, but WrestleMania had me encapsulated in the show. I thought overall, once again, it was a great card. Hold on just a second. All right, there we go. The link's up on Twitter. I say to no one, but that's not really the point here. So yes, where were we? Daniel Bryan won the match. It was a great match. Set up some things great. Yeah, that's about it. Our next match, I don't know if we've ever had two matches to start off WrestleMania that were as great as these two matches. The next match, obviously, Randy Orton against Seth Rollins. Not to spoil anything for later in the event, even though if anyone would be watching this, you know what happened. Wow. I said before that this could be one of the best wrestling matches on the card, and it definitely lived up to that hype. Wow, they did some really great things. Seth Rollins attempted the Phoenix Splash. That was a lot of fun. That RKO at the end, though, oh my gosh. To me, that's the equivalent of Shawn Michaels super kicking Shelton Benjamin off the ropes. We've seen some great RKOs in our time, but to me, that one will probably be the best one because I don't see where that is going to be beaten. It was fantastic. I'm really excited about that. Next match is the WCW against WWE. No matter what Sting said, that's what it ended up being. Sting against Triple H. Started off really fast, started off really hot. Sting looks great for being 56 years old. Triple H looks great for being 45, 46 years old, whatever he is. That bruise on Triple H's leg, though, that was gruesome. That was a little bit hard to look at. But overall, everyone on the internet was marking out during this match when first X-Pac, Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg came out as DX to try to stop Sting from beating Triple H. That was cool. I enjoyed that. Shawn Michaels comes out next, super kick Sting, while Triple H is in the Scorpion Deathlock. Love seeing Shawn Michaels. He's my favorite of all time. I enjoyed that. And then obviously the NWO comes out for some reason to protect Sting, I guess because of their old alliance. Not really alliance. They didn't have an alliance. That was what was confusing about it. Their allegiance to WCW, I guess. But they were kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum way back when in the 90s. And at the same time, I found it very unbelievable that you had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, two members of the Clique, going up against the rest of the Clique in Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and X-Pac. Like, it was cool to see. It was great to see all those guys together. But at the same time, it's not believable at all. As fun as it was to watch Triple H and the whole Clique being involved in the curtain call, obviously back in the 90s, broke kayfabe, and we kind of went in the opposite direction tonight where it was completely kayfabe. But in this reality, I don't think it's, or in this this day and age, I don't think it's really reality. But either way, Fun. Sting lost. I didn't see Sting losing. That seems to me that he would be having another match somewhere down the road, which they probably set up, although it did look like they were setting up for Triple H against The Rock at next year's WrestleMania, potentially, with Ronda Rousey coming in. I always thought her name was pronounced Rousey, but that's another point altogether. It was kind of cool seeing her. I'm not a huge UFC fan. I don't watch a lot of her stuff, but I know she's one tough gal. And Stephanie was poking the bear there. And I thought that segment went a little bit long, longer than I thought it needed to. But, it's WrestleMania. You need to bring all the stars in, and you need to, make it a grand event that it always is. Definitely teasing a match for a later time with Stephanie and Ronda, as I'll call her, since apparently I can't pronounce her name correctly. But either way, it was fun to watch. That's a little bit later, but I just skipped ahead because that was a continuation of that. Also, just a quick thing with the whole record attendance being broken. It's obvious to me that WWE is going to break all these records because it's wrestling. Like, you have a ring and a ramp, and that's really all you need. You can fill the rest of the space in the arena with chairs. You can't do that in football. You can't do that in baseball. You need a larger field to perform. And so to me, it's really obvious that wrestling always breaks these attendance records. Not to mention the fact that WrestleMania is a global phenomenon with millions and millions of fans, no matter what detractors might say. It's very popular, and that cannot be denied. Next match was the Tag Team Divas match with the Bella Twins going up against Paige and AJ. Wow, Paige looked beautiful tonight. My goodness. All the Divas really did. Everyone stepped up their game. Everyone looked great, except for Triple H's giant bruise. But yeah, everyone steps up their game for WrestleMania, as always, and I always appreciate that. I thought this was a good match. They're giving Divas a chance, as you would say, as the hashtag would say. And so I thought all four participants did really well. I thought Brie did a good job riling up the crowd with her incessant yelling that she always does. I feel like they could even use that more, even it's really obnoxious, but that's, once again, beside the point. Paige and AJ obviously got the win. As you saw, I would have liked to seen a double submission with the Black Widow and the Paige tap out, or whatever her submission's called, which is one of my favorite wrestling moves, but that is for a later show. At a later time, we might go in and discuss some of our favorite current wrestling moves whenever Matt gets back. Don't worry, I promise you, you will not be missing the main event for long. He will be here this next week. We have a great show lined up for you. We have multiple passions. We both love many different things, and so we're going to try to combine some things with our love of wrestling next week. If you know what happens next week, and you might have a bit of an idea what we might be talking about, you might not. It's something you're going to have to tune in for. I'm excited about this. I had this idea for this show about a month ago, and I told Matt about it, and I think we're both kind of excited. We kind of had the same thoughts about what we're going to put into the show. And so look forward to that as I tweet out another link to maybe get someone to pay attention. Mostly just Farmer, but we'll see what happens. We had that long interlude of music, as we always do at WrestleMania, and I'm an old-fashioned guy. I'm that old man who doesn't understand the young kids' music, and they did the WrestleMania song, which we've heard in every promo for the past 3 months, and obviously I'm not a big fan of that. But once again, it brings the star power to WrestleMania that WrestleMania needs, and it brings in another audience that might not even watch wrestling. So in that case, I guess it's good. But at the same time, I thought it took away from other things that they could have done that would have added to the show more, and that would have made it better. YouTube, come on. This is the least professional wrestling show you're ever going to see. I don't have Matt to make me look better by comparison, but let me hashtag this. Maybe that'll get people to watch. That's okay. And I just want to thank all of our fans, whether you're watching this live or watching it later. We do appreciate all of you. I know we make jokes about how we don't have a lot of fans, but we really, really do appreciate you guys listening to us talk each and every week. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to have a show last week. That's all my fault. I was back home for spring break, and my internet there is not very good, and so every time Matt would talk, he would cut out for half of his sentence, and so we felt that it would be best to wait and do that show over again. I loved that show. The content that we had, I thought, was amazing. I think you'll really enjoy it. Actually, you'll enjoy Matt's point of view. You won't enjoy mine. I'm rather hateful in that episode, unless you're an 8-year-old who loves John Cena. But that's, once again, we will re-record that show within the coming weeks, and we will get that out to you. Don't worry, you won't miss a thing. It'll be great, I promise. But anyways, back to WrestleMania. John Cena against Rusev. This is the point where The Walking Dead started for me, and I tried to divvy up my time between each show, and I think most of my time went towards WrestleMania, like I said earlier, which I wasn't expecting. But apparently John Cena has a 6th move that we haven't heard about. That springboard stunner was really cool. I loved seeing that. I think Cena can pull out a few more moves out of his hat. He's not that old yet, so I feel like we can still see some more stuff from Cena. And of course, people always complain about how he doesn't have very many moves. He has his 5 moves of death, as you will. But I'm not really a huge fan of Rusev. Personally, I'm never really excited about seeing a Rusev match. It just doesn't excite me all that well. So I felt like this is probably one of the lower rated matches on the card, but that's just my personal opinion. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. Rusev came out with a giant tank, which I feel like probably should have been reserved for the quote-unquote good guy, the American John Cena, which, if you didn't notice, John Cena tweeted out after his match, #America, trolling the world. John Cena doing his thing. Whether you love him or hate him, he is the top guy. But once again, we'll get to that in a later episode. It looks like they rewrote Lana out of the picture with her injury. She's out shooting that movie with the rated R Superstar Edge, which you can go watch if you are into that sort of thing. Yeah. Next match on the card was the match that I was looking forward to the least. I wasn't sure about this match. The Undertaker against Bray Wyatt. And the problem I had with this match is that with Undertaker losing last year to Brock Lesnar, I really didn't see a point to him coming back. What would another win do for the Undertaker? I didn't feel like it would do anything for him. And on the flip side of that coin, what would losing twice do to the Undertaker? I didn't see the Undertaker possibly losing twice in a row at WrestleMania. I wasn't under the impression that if Bray Wyatt lost, he would be buried forever. That, well, symbolically or literally. I thought Undertaker looked so much better than he did last year. He even had more hair. That really threw me off. Back to his American badass days. Wyatt looked really good in this match. I think that he won't have any problems recovering from this match, physically or in storylines. Apparently there was a rumor going around that he had sprained his ankle earlier in the day, but he looked to be fine. The hand walking Undertaker sit-up spot was fantastic. I loved watching that. Kind of knew it was coming, but at the same time, it was still amazing no matter what. Undertaker won. He's 22-1 at WrestleMania now. I'm not sure if that really matters at this point. He won another match, as he should have. But at this point, with the streak being over, I don't see a point in really caring as much, I would say. You know, he had the streak and it was amazing. It was fantastic, but it's over now. And so to me, I'm okay. After last year, I was okay with never seeing Undertaker wrestle again. I can say the same thing again. They're looking like they're going to build him to one more match next year in his home state of Texas at WrestleMania 32, trying to break an all-time attendance record at the house that Jerry built in Dallas. So they're going to be bringing out all their big guns next year for WrestleMania. So I implore you, if for whatever happens the next year, just tune into that show no matter what happens. I'm sure you will probably enjoy that. I also think that WWE should be paying me for that kind of a promo, but whatever. Either way, we come down to the main event match, and boy, oh boy, does everyone hate Roman Reigns. My gosh, I just reading on Twitter, everyone bashing Roman Reigns, hating everything about him. I'm not in that camp. I like Roman Reigns. I think it's very unfortunate what happened to him. He was completely over with the crowd up until his injury. And for whatever reason, when he came back, everyone hated him. And I feel like everyone hated him even before all those corny promos that were written for him, those fairy tale or whatever you want to call them type promos that did not make him look good. You can't blame Roman Reigns for that. That's on the writing. I feel like Roman Reigns has done an incredible job despite all those things being stacked up against him. Everyone was talking on Twitter about how Roman Reigns doesn't look ready for the main event. That's the whole point, guys. Like, they're building this match to make Brock Lesnar look like he's just going to beat the crap out of Roman Reigns like he did to John Cena. And that's what they were going to build it as. It's not that Roman Reigns isn't ready. He is ready. That's just the way they booked it. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't see it going this way, but I really enjoyed seeing Roman Reigns smiling through getting the crap kicked out of him. He's just smiling the whole time Brock Lesnar's beating him up. It's a great form of defiance. It's a great way to show strength, even though he is getting beaten up. And then in the end, he does sort of make a comeback. And I agree to an extent that it wouldn't have made sense for Reigns to beat Lesnar after Lesnar beat the holy hell out of him for so long. But the fact that Reigns landed was 3 or 4 Superman punches and 2 spears, that would make me believe that he could beat Lesnar at that point, because we've seen it before. Lesnar is beatable, no matter what they're trying to portray him as currently. He's lost plenty of matches in his career. And to me personally, I understand Lesnar is a beast. He truly is a beast. He can beat up anyone in the world. But to me, a champion is someone who is there every night defending the title. And I can't support a guy who only comes in for the money. Like, you can't lie to yourself. That's why Brock Lesnar is in the WWE, so he doesn't have to take the beating he would in the UFC. And because he's getting paid a lot of money to be there 4 nights a year, as he was this last year. And to me, that's not what a champion is. A champion is someone who's going to be there every night. Whether or not they're defending the title, they're there every night to progress the storylines. And we have that now with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins coming in and cashing in Money in the Bank during the match. I don't think we've ever seen that before. Someone cashing in Money in the Bank in the middle of another championship match. That definitely added to the fray, as you could say. The adding of the triple threat rules made it, I don't want to say easier, but it made it so that Brock Lesnar did not have to be pinned to lose the title. It could potentially set up a rematch with Lesnar and Rollins. It also led to a great position where you're going to have potentially the babyface Roman Reigns chasing after the dirty, dirty heel Seth Rollins, which I think potentially suits Reigns a little better than having the championship, but we will see that in the coming months. But I really liked how that was executed. All three guys looked great. All three guys performed their jobs perfectly. I was really excited about how that all went down. Overall, WrestleMania was a great show. If you followed along with me on Twitter, I was tweeting through the entire night. I did come in a little bit late when it comes to the very first match on the pre-show. I was driving all the way back from home, even though it's not that far. But I do appreciate you guys talking with us and making WrestleMania a lot more entertaining. It's fun to see other people's reactions, and I think that's one of the better parts of this reality social networking era. Is you can interact with other people who have the same passions as you do, and you can enjoy wrestling with other people from all around the world that you wouldn't be before now. You know, I can imagine how different it would be watching WrestleMania 17 back when Stone Cold, as Jarrah said, joined up with the devil himself, Vince McMahon. Twitter would have went crazy. Facebook, I don't really know about how strong WWE's presence on Facebook is, but Twitter would have went crazy. MySpace would have went crazy if that would have been a thing at this time or that time. It's obviously not. But yeah, overall, a great show. I'm really excited about where this comes. I'm thinking of something that Triple H said a few months back on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast about all the internet trolls complaining about everything that's happening. And I saw plenty of that tonight. I did a little bit of it myself. I'm not completely not to blame. But he said just wait and see what happens. Everyone was talking about how terrible this WrestleMania was, how horrible the build was. But Triple H said just give it time. You know, they have a plan, and it's going to work out eventually. And I think that definitely happened tonight. That idea came to fruition with everything that went down. I thought the pay-per-view was overall superb. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next year. Hopefully, we can get some guys that are in NXT, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Adrian Neville, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami. Hopefully, they can get on the main card next year, and we can just have an absolutely crazy WrestleMania. That's about it for all my thoughts on WrestleMania. Since Matt's not here to do the announcements, I guess I'll do that. We've kind of went through them already, but get ready for our show next Saturday. We have a great show lined up for you, I hope. We're going to be connecting wrestling with another one of our great passions, which if you know us personally at all, you probably know what it is. And if not, you're probably not watching the show because you guys are the only ones watching the show. Other than that, once again, Matt will be back. Don't worry, you won't be without your main event for long. And so I guess, I don't know, hashtag of the week. I haven't thought of a hashtag yet, but I guess we'll just, I don't know, hashtag WrestleMania. That's about as good as I can get. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Afterwards, we will see you next week. Hopefully, next year's WrestleMania, Zack Ryder will be lifting a title. Woo, woo, woo. You know it.